Oh, my queen, my queen. Oh, she. Beautiful, wonderfully made. She's heaven's angel, so strong, even in struggle, yeah. When life comes like a storm from every angle, she rises above it all, backbone of every home. Nothing compares to all she do. True meaning of every family. She's the glue. Yeah. Where would we be without you? You brought us Martin, Malcolm, and Obama. Yeah, and Jesus too. Oh, she's sophisticated, strong, simply amazing, humble, honest, and helpful, educated, ebony, eccentric, empowering. She's a queen, she's a queen. You better treat her like a queen. Oh, Her strength is amazing. Life inside, 9 months she's carrying back to work, 'cause the family she's carrying. Society don't give her just due, but she prevails and stands tall. A champion, a true woman. But nothing compares to all she do. Yeah, the true meaning of every family. She's the glue. Yeah, oh. Where would we be without you? Yeah, you brought us Martin, Malcolm, and Obama, and Jesus too. Oh, she is sophisticated, strong, yeah, simply amazing, humble, honest, and helpful. Not only that you are educated, yes you are, eccentric, empowering. You're my, she's a queen. You're my, my.
Hello and welcome to Let's Talk with Bishop R.C. Blakes. R.C. is an author, empowerment teacher, and the proud pastor of the New Home Ministries of New Orleans, Louisiana and Houston, Texas. His message circles the globe. His conversational and candid approach to challenging content makes him a relevant voice to all generations. Get ready for a life-changing transformational conversation.
Hello. This is R.C. Blakes, and I am so excited about being able to share with my family once again. Now, my prayer is that you all have shared and that you have liked on whatever particular platform you're on today. We have an amazing discussion today that was birthed out of just a phrase I heard on social media, and turns out it's a real thing. We're talking today about struggle love. I want to talk today about signs. I think I have about six signs that you're signing up for struggle love. 6 signs that you're signing up for struggle love. Now, if you're wondering, where am I at and what is this background? Lisa and I are in Anguilla, and what an amazing place this is. Of course, she loves the ocean and the beach and all of those things, being an island girl. But what an amazing place this is. But I want to talk about 6 signs. I may have more, but at least 6 signs that you're signing up for struggle love. Too often, we get into situations and we don't do the necessary work. We don't go through the proper thought process before we enter into the situation, and it's after we're in it and all of the repercussions have happened that we finally realize the error of our ways. When the Bible talks about be not unequally yoked together, it's not suggesting to you that you get into a toxic situation and then figure it out. When the Bible says be not unequally yoked together, the wisdom is to figure out that a person is not for you before you tie them or attach them to your life. Not after. Don't allow them to come into your life and to do all of the damage, and then wake up and realize, I don't need this person in my life. You should be able to read the flags. You should be able to locate the signs, and you should be able to figure out if a person is good for you or not before you let them into your life and before they do you horrific damage. So I'm looking at a lot of people who have signed up and who are yet signing up for struggle love, and no clue as it relates to the signs that are indicating this is going to be nothing but a struggle love opportunity. Well, let's get some definition, and I'm reading from my phone. Struggle love refers to a type of relationship dynamic where one or both parties are engaged in an emotionally difficult, often painful love affair, which can be characterized by a cycle of highs and lows without stable mutual benefit. Individuals who experience struggle love often find themselves in challenging relationships that require excessive effort to maintain, characterized by hardship, misunderstandings, and sometimes even abuse, rather than a healthy partnership. Now, doesn't that ring familiar to a lot of us? Some of you have been in one struggle of situationship after another, but just about all of us know somebody who signs up for struggle love every time, every relationship they get into. It's a lot of hardship. It's a lot of we gotta fight for it, and it's a lot of he gonna get it together. She's gonna figure it out. We gonna be all right after a while, and they're in one struggle love situation after another, after another, after another, and they never really experience relationships like they are ideally supposed to be experienced. You know, you're not supposed to just be struggling with a person, just going through all kinds of trauma and all kinds of abuse and wishing and praying and hoping that somehow it works out, that something changes. Man, you're supposed to enjoy your relationship. Lisa and I, as I say all the time, at this point, this year, we're going to be turning 30 years married. Well, it hadn't been a struggle love situation. It's not been hard to be married to Lisa. It's not, it's been a joy to have been married to Lisa, and I would hope she feels the same way about me. But how many of you are in situations where you're constantly struggling? You're constantly struggling to stay in the situation. Now, here's the horrific truth. And the horrific truth is that the longer you stay in a struggle love environment, the more normal it becomes to you. So dysfunction has become your norm. And if you stay in struggle love situations long enough, what will happen to you is that your soul will be broken to the point that you're not attracted to healthy, productive connections. You'll only be attracted to people that can reintroduce and reintroduce and reintroduce struggle love scenarios into your reality. Now, let me give you some reasons. If you see me looking, it's because they have, those strange looking dragons. Y'all know how I feel about animals. Yeah, and that thing, they got some sharp teeth. I got my eye on it. Praise the Lord. Even though there's a glass wall between me and it, I ain't feeling it. I want to give you some reasons that people fall for struggle love scenarios. Why do so many people fall for struggle love situations, and then it's like quicksand? Once they get in, they don't know how to get out. Well, letter A, reasons people fall for struggle love scenarios. Letter A, when you see people in struggle love situations consistently and don't walk away from that, letter A, you're dealing with a person that has a low self evaluation. The only way you can stay in a struggle love connection is that you have to have a low self evaluation. Letter B, deceptive partnerships. Well, let me deal with letter A, low self evaluation. In individuals, in other words, people with a low self esteem or a low self evaluation may often compromise their own well being to obtain love and validation from someone else that they shouldn't have even given a conversation to. When you are settling for a struggle love situation, you have to go and check your self esteem, your self evaluation. In contemporary context, this can manifest as someone staying in an emotionally draining relationship for fear, here it is, here's the word, for fear of loneliness, or under the misguided belief that they are underserving of a better, or undeserving rather, of a better, more nurturing partnership. But how many folk do you know? How many of you are settling for a struggle love situation because you are deathly afraid of loneliness? You don't want to be by yourself. So you'll stay in a toxic situation with someone else. And watch this, here's the real truth about the matter. Even though you have somebody in the bed with you, and even though you have somebody in the car with you, you are lonelier than the person that is self-esteemed and literally by themselves. To have a person physically present and emotionally disconnected is not an antidote for loneliness. Where do we see this that I always mention in Scripture? I'm just trying to make sure here. Leah, Jacob and Leah. If you go to Genesis 29, 31 through 34, a sister by the name of Leah, her experience with Jacob, her husband, is a quintessential example of struggle love due to low self-evaluation. In Genesis, again, 29, 31 through 34, it reads like this. And when the Lord saw that Leah was hated, Jacob was married to her, but he hated her. And the Bible says when the Lord saw that Leah was hated, he opened her womb. But Rachel was barren. Rachel was her sister, the guy's second wife. She was barren, but Leah was giving birth to children. So he hated her, but yet he was having sex with her. And Leah conceived and bare a son. She called his name Reuben, for she said, surely the Lord hath looked upon my affliction. Now therefore my husband will love me. And she conceived again and bare a son, and said, because the Lord hath called his name Simeon. And she conceived again and bare a son, and said, now this time will my husband be joined unto me. She's constantly having babies for this man, struggling, trying to get his love, trying to get his approval, trying to get his affirmation, but he never loved her. Leah's continuous attempts to win Jacob's affection through her sons symbolizes a yearning for worthiness and acceptance rooted in her self-view as less than her sister Rachel. Struggle love, the result of low self-evaluation. Letter B, struggle love. We fall into struggle love situations as the result of deceptive partners. In other words, people just made us believe that they were the ultimate, that they were something that they were not. And we got kind of tricked into it. And by the time you realized that you were in a struggle love situation, something that was going to constantly hurt you and never pay you proper dividends, you had invested so much emotionally, you had developed a soul tie, even sexually, and now you're in a situation where you just don't know how to break free. But it wasn't because you had low self-esteem, you just got deceived into it. A deceptive partner might manipulate events or emotions to maintain power in the relationship. They may employ gaslighting techniques to make their partner doubt their perceptions, or insist that challenging or damaging behaviors are acts of love. This can entangle individuals in a cycle of distrust and emotional turmoil that's often associated with struggle love. You just kind of got tricked into this. You didn't intend on it. You didn't sign up for this. You just kind of got tricked into it. Kind of like, I believe Delilah and Samson would be a great biblical example of what this looks like, because Delilah's betrayal of Samson, her setting him up, her deceiving him, making her think that she loved him, that she was feeling him, and all of these kinds of things. I think it's a perfect biblical example of how toxic, narcissistic people can deceive us, or deceive others, might I say, into struggle love connections. In Judges chapter 16, verses 4 through 6, we find the record of Delilah and Samson, and listen to what it says. And it came to pass afterward that he loved a woman in the valley of Sorek, whose name was Delilah. And the lords of the Philistines came up unto her and said unto her, entice him, and see wherein his great strength lieth. You know, Samson, if you know anything about the Bible, he had supernatural strength, and he was the chief enemy of the Philistines. And so here the Philistines are employing Delilah to get information on him so as to be able to circumvent Samson's power. But it said, see where his strength lieth, and by what means we may prevail against him, that we may bind him to afflict him, and we will give thee every one of us 1,100 pieces of silver. And Delilah said to Samson, tell me, I pray thee, wherein thy great strength lieth, and wherein thou mightest be bound to afflict thee. So she's using the occasion to deceive him, because, you know, he was loving her so much. She made him feel like she was feeling him, and the whole while she was setting him up. And the story ends very poorly. She sets him up. He loses his strength. He loses his power. He loses his position. He loses his purpose. He loses his eyesight. He loses his freedom. Because when you're in a struggle love scenario with somebody that is toxic and deceptive, there's nowhere or no way for you to go but down. The sooner you pull out of this situation and realize that this is not designed to work for you, this is not designed to produce anything but pain for you, the sooner you realize this, the freer you'll become, the sooner you'll become free. So what's the third reason that people embrace struggle love scenarios? When people are just ignorant of the red flags, when you're just wandering around here and you don't have a clue relative to what's going on, how people are moving, what you're doing, what they're doing, and you just green out here. That's the main reason I wrote the book, The Father-Daughter Talk. That's the reason I spend so much time empowering women, because most women are just simply green. They don't have a clue, unaware of the flags just flapping in the wind. And because nobody's ever taught you, you didn't know when you entered into the world that you can't believe everything people say to you, or you can't. Everybody smiling is not happy. Everybody saying they love you doesn't really love you. Just because a man want to have sex with you doesn't mean that he adores you. Sometimes a man can have sex with you over and over again and hate your guts. Nobody ever taught you these things. So a lot of folk are in the middle of struggle love scenarios because they're just green, just completely clueless, which is why the Bible says in Hosea chapter number 4 and verse 6, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. You just don't know. I'm trying to keep my eye on this lizard here. You just don't know, and nobody's ever taught you. And then watch this. Let me finish reading it, because this is going to help somebody. In Hosea 4 and 6, it says, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Goes on to say something a little deeper. because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee. A lot of times, it wasn't that you didn't have access to the knowledge. It's been that you know everything. You want to do what you want to do. And so, though you've had people in your life to give you the knowledge, you went out into the world based on your emotions, your feelings, your desires, and the world chewed you up and spit you out. Spat you out? What's the right way to say that? English class. But, unaware, just completely unaware of the red flags. Now, let's get into, I think it's like 6 things I want to give you. Yeah, 6 things I want to give you as it relates to signs that these are signs that you might be signing up for struggle of. And you have to do what? You're going to have to observe these things in the people you're dealing with. This is where you're going to have to pay attention, and you're going to have to observe the character and the behavior of the people you're dealing with. Number 1, you cannot ignore, if you're a woman, well, I guess this applies both ways though. You cannot ignore a person that has a father or mother wound. Now, that doesn't mean that they are off limits, but it does mean you need to be aware of it. Like Lisa had, the most terrific father wound, right? But I was aware of it, right? I was aware of it. She was aware of it. And watch this. She was working on her own issues, and she wasn't trying to embrace me as a substitute for the father she never had, because that becomes a struggle love situation when a man didn't have the right kind of mothering, and now he's looking to you to be his mama. This concept suggests that unresolved issues stemming from one's relationship with their mother or their father can translate into one's romantic relationships. You get a woman that has a father wound, a lot of times she doesn't even realize it in a lot of cases. If she's unaware, what'll happen is you'll find yourself struggling with her to get her to hear you, struggling with her to get her to submit to you as her man, struggling to follow your lead, and you're trying to figure out what in the world is really going on. Why is this such a struggle for me to be the man of this woman? Is because she doesn't have a point of reference of a man being dependable or a leader. And if she's not aware of that, and you enter into this situation, it can produce a lot of struggle. You won't know where it's coming from, and in most cases, you won't know how to deal with it. Some signs may include, woman that has or man that has a mother wound. Some signs may include seeking approval or validation from a partner in ways reminiscent of seeking a mother's love or a father's approval, or being attracted to partners who embody traits of an absent, neglectful, or emotionally unavailable parent. This could manifest as a constant need to fix a partner or endure hardship to earn their love or attention. When people have parental wounds like that, there's usually a high need to get their partners to approve. Now, if you look over in Exodus 20 and 12, It says, honor your father and your mother so that your days may be long in the land that the Lord your God is giving you. Now, this text, I read this text because it highlights the importance of parental relationships. However, when these relationships are fractured, particularly with mothers, it can skew an individual's perception of love and worthiness. The mother wound can create a cycle where one continually seeks a misplaced form of maternal approval in romantic partners. So when you see, really, be it a man or a woman that has a mother wound or a father wound, you have to really dive deep before you leap, because you don't know how intense that thing is. You don't know. You have to know that they are aware that they possess this. You have to know that they are working on their own issues. And you have to know if you are equipped or not to be able to help them work on their issues. Because in a lot of cases, it's above your pay grade, especially if you are emotionally fractured yourself, like most people are, but some to greater degrees than others. Everybody, it doesn't matter how much you love a person, everybody doesn't have the bandwidth to be the partner of someone who's been traumatized by the neglect, the absence, or the abandonment of a parent. It's been one of the more challenging and maturing aspects of my life to have been the husband of Lisa Blakes, as she has worked to overcome the trauma that, that man did. Won't even call him father. To overcome the trauma that that man did to her life. But the key was that I was aware of it, and she is aware of it, and she constantly does the work, does her personal work to overcome it. So we've been able to scale those walls and overcome that hurdle. Well, we're overcoming that hurdle because, we're equally yoked in that matter. So, signs that you might be signing up for struggle of, does this person have parental wounds that are beyond my capacity? I don't care how fine they are. Uh-uh. Man, fine on the outside, broken on the inside, and you don't have the tools to, come on now. You don't need to do that to you, and you don't need to do that to them. Because the only thing that's going to happen, the only thing that comes of a situation like that, when you're out of your league in terms of a person's emotional trauma, is that you eventually have to leave too at some point. And then what happens is you've compounded their pain, because they don't see it as you having a need to leave. They see it as you abandoning them as well. So now you've made the matter worse, because you didn't do your due diligence in the beginning, and you were not able to say, this situation right here is above my pay grade, it's beyond me. Now, number two, second sign that I've listed that you need to pay attention to, that you may be signing up for struggle of, is clashing values. You value one thing, they value another. Where do we find this happening? We find people ignoring clashing values when they are heavily or highly sexually attracted to one another. You forget all about the fact that you're a Christian and this person is an atheist, because you want to get into bed with them so much. And then once you get in that bed over and 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 over again, now you try to talk yourself out of the truth. Beyond sex, we don't have anything in common. We're not going to the same place. We're not thinking the same thoughts. But the sex is so amazing over and over and over and over. And now you got yourself a full-blown soul tie. A strong indicator of struggle love is when the core values between partners differ significantly. These core values may pertain to lifestyle choices, aspirations, personal beliefs, and morals. When one partner is consistently compromising their core values to accommodate the other, it usually leads to resentment and a feeling of living out of alignment with oneself. Often, struggle love involves one party's constant sacrifice without a sense of reciprocity or shared vision for the future. You know, it always baffles me, and I never tire of asking the question of women who come to me, 3, 4, 5 years deep into a relationship or even a marriage, and say, well, I just can't get him to get a job. He don't want a job. He doesn't want to work. Well, all men don't want to work. Y'all know this by now. All men don't want to work. My problem is, you knew he didn't want to work when you married this man. You knew he didn't want to work when you developed a sexual relationship with this man. You knew he didn't want to work when he sat there and let you pay the bill at the restaurant. You knew he didn't want to work when every day, all day long, he can answer his phone for you. You ain't just figured this out. Now it's 3 years later, after the shine is worn off the sexual thing, and now you need a man that shares your values because life has gotten real. And now you want to send me a message and tell me, Pastor RC, he doesn't want to work. You've been knowing the man didn't want to work. You just did not realize you were signing up for struggle love to marry a man that did not have your values. You know why? Because you believe, like all of the other women, or let me not say all, like a lot of the other women believe, that is, I can change him. He'll change for me. He loves me so much, he'll change for me. But his mama didn't change him. He don't love you more than he loves his mama. God ain't changed him. If a man don't want to change, he ain't going to change for you and nobody else. That's why you got to know that a man shares your values. Brothers, it goes the opposite way as well. Don't marry a woman that doesn't have your values. I don't care how fine she is. Amos 3:3 says, do two walk together unless they have agreed to do so? Just checking. Do two walk together except they have agreed to do so? Why would you take a journey with someone if you're not sure about where they're going, unless you're not sure about where you're going? You see, when you know where you're going, now you can figure out who can take your journey with you. But don't alter your journey because you allow a hitchhiker to attach to your life that does not have your values. Clashing of values is one of the main signs that you are signing up for struggle love. Relationships built on struggle love often see one partner forging their essential beliefs to appease, or foregoing, should I have said, foregoing their essential beliefs to appease the other, which can lead to an erosion of one's sense of self and ultimately to resentment. You begin to compromise your values for a person who has no values. What did Shakespeare say? To thine own self be true. You can't lie to you. I don't care how much you think you love a person. If that connection goes against your fundamental constitution, it's going to end in struggle. Number 3, you know that you're signing up for struggle love when there's a lack of respect. When there's a lack of respect. Now, this sign is fundamental and reflects the depth of struggle within the relationship, respect, a lack of it. Not being respected can mean that boundaries are constantly violated. Opinions are undervalued or mocked, and one's well-being is not prioritized. A lack of respect can also manifest in more overt ways, such as verbal abuse or controlling behavior. Whenever you're in a situation where there's a lack of respect for you, where else can it go but to struggle? It starts in struggle. How can you not see that this is a struggle for you to be in a situationship where you're constantly disrespected? You mean tell me you actually don't see that this is not healthy? Listen to what the Bible says in Romans 13:7. It says, render therefore to all their dues, tribute to whom tribute is due, custom to whom custom, fear to whom fear, honor to whom honor. Give a person what they deserve. If a person is incapable of giving you the respect you deserve, there you have a person that is fundamentally flawed. If they don't have enough character to give you what you deserve. Now watch this. Let me flip it, because this respect piece as a sign that you're likely signing up for struggle love. It goes in more than one direction. It's not only about you being disrespected by them, but watch this. You know that you are signing up for struggle love if you're with a person that you can't respect. That you may be attracted to them, you may be familiar with them. You know what I mean? You may like them they may be fun, they may be sexy and all of these things, but there's nothing about the way they live their life, the person they really are, that makes you respect them. If you can't respect a person, that's going to be a struggle. Because the thing about disrespect is it doesn't get better. Once you wake up to the fact that you don't respect the person and the person doesn't respect you, that doesn't get better. I don't, we don't usually go from, disrespect to respect, right? We don't usually go from disrespect to respect. Not usually. There's some rare occasions where a person say, okay, when I first met my significant other, I didn't respect them. And now I respect them. We don't usually go from disrespect to respect, because usually when people disrespect you, they don't want anything to do with you. And anybody you don't respect, you don't usually want anything to do with them. So to fool yourself to believe that somehow this person doesn't respect you or you don't respect them, and somehow this is going to work out because after all, they look like I want them to look, or they make, enough money, like women want a man that, makes X amount of dollars, and, You know, a lot of times you get these guys that make all of that money and you pass by an average guy that's on his way up and you get the guy making all of that money, but he doesn't respect you. So he can afford the lifestyle, but he can never value you. But you think that somehow you're going to go from disrespect to respect. When a person disrespects you, you got to cut ties with that person. You got to let that person go. Because disrespect is the clearest sign that we're headed for nothing but struggle, struggle, and more struggle, especially in romantic situations. Number 4, the fourth sign that you're signing up for struggle of: unreasonable jealousy. You know, all of us to a certain extent, we have, we get a little jealous, and that's healthy for a relationship to a certain extent. But there's this level of jealousy that's just unreasonable, where a person doesn't want you speaking to people. I was talking with a dear heart, and she reached out and she said, well, the guy that I'm with now, this girl is a business woman. She's a coach. She's a public figure. And the guy she has now, he doesn't want her to be friendly with guys. I'm not talking about inappropriately. I'm talking about just friendly. He doesn't want her speaking. He doesn't want her having conversations with guys. Well, how's she supposed to do a business? That's what you call unreasonable. And, my instruction to her is the same as it would be to you. Anybody that's trying to fundamentally change who you are is not designed to go into your future. You've gone as far as you can go with that person. And there are some of you that are dealing with people right now whose jealousy is just unreasonable. As a woman, sometimes that can be cute for a little while, that a man is so jealous of you, he's so jealous of you, but that eventually turns into a prison. Unreasonable jealousy is a sign. It's a very, very sick sign that you're signing up for struggle of. That's not going to end cute. This sign is fundamental and reflects the depth of struggle within the relationship, not being able to move freely. Jealousy in small doses can be harmless or even affirming in a relationship because it may stem from deep feelings of care and attachment. However, immense jealousy is different. It reflects deep insecurities and a lack of trust. When jealousy becomes overwhelming, it suggests a lack of self-esteem and an unhealthy attachment to your partner. It also often induces controlling behavior and conflicts that are mistakenly accepted as proof of love. In reality, they indicate a tumultuous and unstable partnership. Jealous. In Song of Solomon 8:6, jealousy is described as being as strong as death. It's jealousy unyielding as the grave, as strong as death and as unyielding as the grave. Song of Solomon 8:6. While the text speaks to the intensity of love and the passions that come with it, the verse also cautions against the consuming nature of jealousy. If you're dealing with somebody who has an unreasonable level of jealousy, you need to shake them sooner than later, because that can become violent, that can become homicidal, that can become suicidal, that can become a lot of different things. When you see a person who's not in control of their jealousy towards you, they have deep insecurities that you cannot satisfy, and they lack a fundamental, respectful level of trust for you. And it is a sign that you are signing up for struggle of. Number 5, let me hurry up. The time is gone. You know that you're signing up for struggle of when a person is emotionally triggering. when you're constantly around this person and they're always triggering you. They've been around you for years. Well, let's just say for a year. Hopefully you don't let this just go on and on and on. And they're constantly triggering you. They're always touching on the tender parts of your heart, your emotions, your history, your experience, and they always leave you feeling bad. Though they are supposed to be the person that's closest to you, they never learn you. Because what do I say? Love learns. A person that is really healthy for you and really loves you pays attention. They don't continue to do the same stupid things over and over and over again to constantly trigger you and to break you. They learn you. So if a person is always emotionally triggering you, this is a sign. You've told them and they find another way to do the same thing. They find another way to create the same trauma. A sense of emotional disconnect in a relationship usually means that partners are not on the same wavelength when it comes to expressing and understanding each other's feelings and needs. Anybody that's always triggering you, they're not in your best interest. You know, they're not in your best interest. You can't be around somebody all day, every day that's constantly triggering you. You've been with this person for what, 6 months? And they're triggering you 3 and 4 times a week? And you're having the conversation. Let's just assume you're doing your due diligence and you're having the conversation and they never learn. Either if they never learn, it means they're too dumb to learn or they don't care to learn. But either way, this is not a situation that is going to end well or be well for you. Let's see. Number 6, and finally, 6th sign that you are signing up for struggle love. When you are intellectually frustrated. It's a little warm out here in Anguilla. Woo. When you are intellectually frustrated, you're trying to have conversations on a certain level and this person just can't go. They can't even follow you there. You're trying to lead them and they just can't have that conversation with you. They just don't get it. You're talking about experiences and desires that's flying over their head. Babe, when you wake up and you realize that a person is just on, let's not say beneath you, but let's just say a person is on another intellectual frequency from you, you're fooling yourself. Because when you get through rolling around in the bed and having all of that amazing sex, you're going to have to be able to have a conversation. As you get older and you're not as hot as you used to be and you're not trying to have sex 5 times a week and all or every day, and you just want to grow older with your partner like Lisa and I are doing now. You want to be able to lie in the bed and have a conversation. Well, if a person is intellectually frustrating you now and you see no evidence that they are growing intellectually, they don't read, they don't educate themselves, they don't go to school, they're not good listeners, they watch everything but anything that's going to really educate them. How do you think it's going to get better? How do you think that's going to get better? You are signing up, my brother, my sister, for struggle love. You are signing up for struggle love. I'm done because it's hot out here and I'm still got my eye on these lizards out here. I hope you got something out of this conversation today. I really do, because, it's time for you to make wise decisions relative to relationships. Struggle, you don't need to just sign up for it. Life is hard enough to enter into a situation that's set up for nothing but struggle. Your relationships are not supposed to be stuck on struggle. You're going to go through your moments where you can prove you're going to be there for one another and all that, but your relationship is not supposed to be stuck on struggle. Not from the inside out. Now, the world around you may produce circumstances that produce challenges, but the challenges should not be produced from the inside of the relationship, because we have two people that are not really equally yoked together. So I hope that you got something out of this. Don't forget to go to the website, sign up for my mailing list, check out all of my online programs while you're there. Soul Ties, Queenology, Transcending the Father Wound, which is an amazing program, helping so many people all around the world, men and women actually. And don't forget to stop by Amazon, pick up all of my books. Thanks to all of you who have sown into our lives. Lisa and I love you so much. We really, really do appreciate you. And what am I missing? What am I missing? I think I got everything. Don't forget to go and register for Queenology, happening August 23rd through the 25th in Atlanta, Georgia. It's going to be amazing. Seats are selling out. Very soon I'll be telling you it's completely sold out. It's just phenomenal how God is doing this. I think that's it. I think I'm done. I want you to know that I love you. Lisa and I love you. We appreciate you. And from Anguilla, where it's beautiful, but it's hot, you're on top and you're going higher. God has more in store for you. I'm R.C. Blakes, and I will see you at the top. God bless you. Until next time.
We here at RC Blakes Ministries want to thank you for spending this time with us today. RC and Lisa are always honored to have you with us. Don't forget to reach out to us by visiting our website at www.rcblakes.com. While you're there, you may join our mailing list and receive a free download of The Laws of Manifesting Your Vision by RC Blakes. Also look at all of the online programs by RC. You may find all books written by RC and Lisa. Once again, all of us here at RC Blakes Ministries want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts. And as we always say, see you at the top.
Hello, family. This is RC Blakes, and I am so thoroughly excited. I'm excited because Queenology 2024 is coming back to Atlanta, Georgia, August the 23rd through the 25th. The host hotel is going to be the Whitley Hotel. Amazing. Women are literally coming from around the world. It is a multicultural, multi-generational, multiracial movement of women from around the world. And I want to invite you and yours to meet Lisa and I in Atlanta, Georgia at the Whitley Hotel, August the 23rd through the 25th for Queenology. For those that have the Royal Court package, it will afford you your entire stay for the weekend. It will also afford you a private, formal dinner with Lisa and I to open Queenology up. It also affords you admission to every event, everything that's happening for the entire weekend. Now, we also have the Saturday brunch and intensive package, which allows you to get into the brunch where Lisa and I will be sharing the messages that God has given us for 2024 to share with the ladies. This year, I'll have my own message, and Lisa will also have her very own message. It's going to be powerful. During the Saturday brunch and intensive, we're also going to have a very distinguished panel of men that are going to sit before the queens and answer the questions that women have always wanted to ask men. It's going to be amazing. Now, also those that are part of the VIP experience, there will be a time where Lisa and the ladies will gather in what they call, I think, the pajama party. And it will be a time where women will have conversation among women. I'm really excited about the culmination of Queenology this year because none other than the incomparable Dave Hollister is coming to be a part of our closing event, the all-white party. He's going to sing the Queenology theme song as well as entertain the ladies, the queens, for that evening. Queenology 2024 promises to be like none other. Those of you that want information, if you desire to be a vendor, queenology.net. Those of you that may need payment plans, queenology.net. Let nothing stop you from making your way to Queenology 2024 in Atlanta, Georgia this year. Tickets are going very quickly. I would love for you to meet us in Atlanta, August the 23rd through the 25th. Queens from around the world are coming. Queens from around the world are rising. It is going to be a coronation. It is going to be a crowning.